Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, a channel where we talk about all things important. So today we're going to be watching another video. This video it's called How to Stay Motivated, Tips for Beating Laziness, and this is by Islamic Lectures. So let's start the video.
Answer with you a question that is very important. And the question is, how does one defeat laziness? How does one overcome laziness? How does one fight laziness in his life? And especially when it comes into matters of worship. You know, the biggest problem we have with our worship is laziness. People don't wake up for Salat al-Fajr because of laziness. People do not continue their fasting after Ramadan because of laziness and because of its difficulty. They think it's difficult. And everything in life is like this. It's laziness that is the big problem. And as technology advances and develops in this life, laziness becomes even more and more. Right? When you have everything on the phone, when you can do everything on the phone, when you can do everything online, people become lazy. So how does one defeat laziness in life? And we need to understand that the road to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a long road. It's a long road. And it's a difficult road as well. There's a lot of hardships on the road. And this is one of the wisdoms for why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made his house, Al-Kaaba, he made it in a desert. He commanded that it's built in a desert, in a place that is cut off from the world. You know, when you get there, it's difficult. The question is, why didn't Allah Azza wa Jal order and command for his house to be built on the coastline? It's hard. This is to teach us that is the road to Allah. The road to Allah is full of difficulty. It's just like the road to Mecca. So as you undertake this journey to Mecca, it is supposed to teach you that's the road to Allah Azza wa Jal. That's the difficulties that you'll encounter in life. So the idea is, how am I going to continue? And not allow laziness to be an obstacle before me in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the question we want to answer.
Yeah, so laziness can be a big problem. I mean, I've noticed it myself as well. On my days off, I literally don't feel like doing anything. I mean, it's okay to have a little bit of rest, but the whole day I would just sit around, do nothing, and not being productive at all. So laziness can be a very bad thing.
How to defeat laziness? My brothers in Islam, we need to understand that the greatest purpose in life is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the greatest purpose in life. And this purpose, to worship Allah, Allah Azza wa Jal made mention of it in the first surah of the Qur'an, which is Surah Al-Fatiha. What is the central ayah in Surah Al-Fatiha? It's إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. That's the central ayah. This ayah in Surah Al-Fatiha is actually a summary of the entire Qur'an. As a matter of fact, it's a summary of the entire life of one person. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ. We have been commanded by Allah that we declare on our tongue and in our heart that you alone we worship. Worship, that's the purpose. How do we worship? How does one worship Allah? What's the tool? What's the means to worship Allah? That the worship of Allah requires dedication. It requires commitment. It cannot be affected by laziness. The second half of the ayah tells us how we're going to fulfill this purpose. And that is وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. And you alone we seek help. Even the purpose of life is to worship Allah. Na'bud. How are we going to worship Him? What's the means of worshiping Him? You need to always keep in your mind and in your heart, إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You alone we're going to seek help when worshiping you. And that is the only way you're going to fulfill the purpose of worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal. And in brief, that is the answer. That you always seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help when it comes to your worship. And this is why from the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which he taught to Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiyallahu anhu, he said to him, Ya Mu'adh, inni uhibbuka fillah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is teaching Mu'adh something. Listen to what he teaches him. He says, فَلَا تَدَعَنَّ دُبُرَ كُلِّ صَلَاةٍ أَن تَقُولْ. He's teaching him a dua. He said to him, Oh Mu'adh, I love you for the sake of Allah. and that has its effect on itself. This is a statement that is teaching us Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam how he used to deal with his companions. You know, in the adhan, when the caller makes the adhan, we're supposed to repeat after the muaddin what he says. If he says Allahu Akbar, what are we supposed to say? Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. When does it change? And Hayya ala salat, Hayya ala al-falah. When the muaddin says Hayya ala salah, which means come to salah. The muaddin is calling all of us. He's saying come to salah. Hayya ala al-falah. Come to success. Come. Salat is success. What are we supposed to say? We don't say Hayya ala salah. He's calling us to salat. We don't say Hayya ala salah. We say La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. You know why? I'll tell you why. La hawla means I have no ability. I have no will. It's as though you're saying, he's telling you come to salat. And you're saying, no, I have no ability to come to salat. La hawl. I have no way to come to salat. Wa la quwwa. And I have no strength and no ability to come to salat whatsoever. Illa billah. Except if Allah was to give me permission. And you repeat this again when he says Hayya ala al-falah. Then when you say La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, you're acknowledging your weakness. The muaddin is calling you to come to salat, and you are told by Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to say, tell him, no way. There is no way for me to come to salat, and there is no strength for me to come to salat. Illa billah, except if Allah was to give me the strength and ability to worship Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even the word la hawla.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Wa la quwwata illa billah is the greatest dhikr you're going to say when you're seeking Allah's help to continue in your worship and to defeat laziness. Make guidance easy for me. Make it easy upon me that I get up and attend Salat al-Jama'ah and pray with the congregation of the Muslims. Make it easy for me that I continue my fasting after Ramadan. How come that's not included in the dua? Then we need to learn that this is supposed to be an integral part of our life. That we continuously and consistently ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He help us and aid us in our worship. This came because people like this understood the importance of always asking Allah to make worship easy for them. And that, once again, my brothers and sisters in Islam, in conclusion, two things. Number one, Allahumma a'inni ala dhikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. That's the dua. And the dhikr for it. And it better be on your tongue day and night, which is La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. This is a dhikr that bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And as a result, secure and earn that place for you in Jannat al-Firdaus. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala an yahdiyana wa yuyassir al-huda lana. And we ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala an yu'inana ala dhikrihi wa shukrihi wa husni ibadatih. إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد.
Yeah, very interesting video. I enjoyed that actually. So yeah, laziness, it can be a big problem. Laziness will stop you from being active, from praying, from fasting, from doing so many things in your life. So I'm one of those person, I'll be honest, and I need to drive this laziness out of me, and the only way to do that is to do zikr and ask for Allah to remove this laziness. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you back on the next video. Thank you.